All right, so there's a feature that just rolled out literally this morning for me in my account, and I wanted to share it with you because this is going to help you if you struggle with coming up with content ideas. It also is going to allow you to know if YouTube is recognizing your channel for what you want to show up for. So if you're trying to attract an audience, well, this is also going to allow you to see if your channel is actually being optimized for what you want it to be optimized for. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the computer. Let's check this out.
Now, this may or may not be available in your account yet, but just check for it. Also, let me know in the comments if you actually have it already turned on in your account. So what you're going to do is go into where it says content. And in here, you're going to see up here, inspiration. Now, there was always an inspiration tab here, but now they've built in this AI engine, which is really, really cool. I'm going to also show you this in our other account so you can see it in two different niches. And I also want to share with you why it's important to really figure out who you're trying to target as far as your audience, who you're trying to attract, and then creating titles that are going to help you start to attract that audience. Once you do that, this tool right here is going to be extremely, extremely powerful. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more on titles here in a minute, but let me just kind of go in here and show you what they're doing. So if I click into the inspiration tab, you see now it says explore and brainstorm video ideas. So because this channel that you're watching this on is geared towards helping small YouTube channels, and that's what we've been talking about and creating titles for, well, you can see this comes up. YouTube title secrets, a deep dive, or the surprising future of YouTube content, or hidden YouTube features, boost your views, how to build a loyal YouTube community. Now, these are all great, but the first thing I want to say is this is awesome because it's telling me that the content that we've been putting out is attracting people that are looking to grow on YouTube. Okay. Now, if I go over here to this account, this is our other account, Brand Creators, which we've been building that now for over 9 years. And if you look inside of here, we have been publishing content for over the last 2 years on Etsy, right? Mainly on Etsy, but it's been e-commerce, but also Etsy. And so you can see here, the first one that comes up when I'm in the inspiration tab now is it says Etsy versus TikTok shops, which is best for you? Or Etsy seller success stories, real people, real results. Beyond the algorithm, how to build a loyal Etsy following. So these are all great on the surface, but the cool thing that we can do now is if I click in here, if I click on that, it'll now take me into a little brainstorming area and it helps me create an outline if I want. And it gives me other title ideas. It even gives me some thumbnail ideas. I don't think this is going to work personally. So I wouldn't even use the thumbnail thing because I'm a big fan of just putting yourself in the thumbnail and then having the thumbnail draw curiosity into what the title is about. So I don't think that that's going to be that helpful. Now, you could argue and say, well, this one down here is a lady and there's two different things and it's kind of like this or this. Yeah, that one there doesn't really excite me too much. But let's play around with this, okay? Because this is the first time I'm playing around with this right now in front of you. So if I was to say, okay, it says very high interest. So here it also tells me your viewers' interest is very high. Many of your viewers have been watching videos about this topic in the last 28 days, okay? So I should probably create a video that's Etsy versus TikTok shops and then which is best for you. Like, and you know what? I might even test that on, well, I'll test it on this channel, but I'll report on it on the other channel. Okay. So you can kind of see, but over here, this is the other cool thing now. Okay. It says need more inspiration. Here's some other ideas. Etsy versus TikTok, real seller stories, beginner's guide to both platforms, Etsy versus TikTok pros and cons. Now, what I could do here is I could say, can I also, maybe I want to put in here Shopify and I want to see what happens if I update the idea and see what gets pulled in. Okay. Shopify versus Etsy, which is right for you. Okay. And then it's going to build the outline for me. And it's also going to give me some other titles. Okay. Let's see what different thumbnails, if it gave me anything interesting at all. Shopify versus Etsy. Don't get scammed by this one big lie. I don't know. But this here, look at Shopify, Etsy. That's not actually too bad. I mean, again, I like to create thumbnails that are a little bit more real, not AI generated. But it is pretty cool that they're building that in. So here we have real stories. We have ultimate beginner's guide. Okay. So that's just one example. Now, if we look at the outline, show more, it literally will show you things that you could talk about. So the introduction, choosing the right platform. Start by acknowledging the overwhelming choices for a seller online. Briefly introduce Shopify and Etsy, highlighting their distinct selling propositions. Outline the core goal of the video, help viewers decide which platform best suits their needs. So it's literally giving you an intro. All right. And then here, Shopify, building your own online empire. So then it would say, these are the benefits of it. Here's Etsy. Here's the benefits, comparing the key features. So it's literally building you an outline, and you can copy and paste this. You can delete it. If I click in here, I can actually brainstorm more within here. So I personally will probably not be using the outline feature, but I would be using it for coming up with title ideas that YouTube thinks I should create about. And I will probably either use some of them, test them. We'll actually definitely test them, and I'll report on the live video school channel. But I think it's also nice to know if the algorithm is identifying our channel for the audience that we think or that we want to attract. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you have already turned on. The other thing that I want you to do is, if you're not yet if you're a brand new channel, or you don't feel like you're showing up for the audience that you want to show up for, you definitely got to start with the titles. And you might not be getting this data yet. And that's because you have not created the titles to draw those people in. If you need help with titles, I do have a free guide. It's got 10 titles, top titles that we've used over the years. And I've used it for this channel, Live Video School. I've used it for the Brand Creators channel, and I pulled 10 of those. If you want those, and I actually give you examples on how you can use them in multiple niches, just comment hooks in the comments. All right, just hooks in the comments, and I'll send you a copy of that. Because if you're not able to give YouTube enough up front, it's not going to be able to do much on the back end yet with this little AI engine. Let me go into the other channel though again real quick. So if I go in here to the inspiration, here we are, YouTube title secrets, a deep dive. So if I click in here, all right, I can expand this and say, okay, what's the outline look like? Okay, the problem with bland titles. Generic titles get lost in the sea of content. Boring titles don't entice viewers to click. Inspiring, that's all pretty much common sense for me. The power of keywords, all right, and crafting click-worthy titles. So this is just giving me some ideas of what I could put in the video. So it's helping me build that outline. And then if I scroll down here, we've got some additional titles. Okay. Unlock YouTube title mastery, a step-by-step guide. The secret weapon for explosive YouTube views, titles. Stop struggling with YouTube titles. This will change your game. And then these aren't that great. And I can actually expand this and show more. Couldn't create thumbnail. Okay. So again, this is brand new, guys. This is like a brand new feature that is now, it's happening. It's being released in people's accounts. So let me know in the comments if you do have this turned on. Let me know that. I'd be curious to know. And also, if you need help with those titles, like I talked about, I actually shot a video right here that breaks down those 10 titles. And I show you even more examples on how to use them, because that is the most important thing. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.